We can talk about our books.
Yeah, let's talk about our books.
Let's talk about our books. All right, Karina, and I think we have like a cricket in the speakers. Is your mic okay? Is it your headphones?
No, I've got my headphones still in and mic's on.
Okay. Every now and then there's a chirp. Okay. Karina, tell me about your books.
Oh, I'll be here all day. Oh no, come on. Yeah, all right. Okay. I have 8 titles. I love talking about my books. I love. I have 8 titles. I have number 9 coming out this year sometime. Don't know when. I'm waiting on my editor, and then once she does her job, then I can get to doing all my preparation for the cover reveal, which hasn't been done yet. I've got someone working on a map, so it's going to be something new that wasn't in book 1. Anyway, so I have a series of 4 books, MC thrillers, called The Outlaw, and it is In Times of Violence, Huntress, Lawless Justice, and Road Rage. They do not run in sequel. They are not sequels. They are in a series because they are all about people who turn into outlaws, people that never felt like they fitted into today's society, and so turned against authority and became outlaws. So that's the only thing that sort of brings them together. Mind you, saying that, Huntress does follow on to In Times of Violence, and the only reason for that is that because my fans demanded I write a sequel to In Times of Violence. I had no plans. I actually wrote the 3rd book, Lawless Justice, before I wrote Huntress. I had no intentions at all. It's like now they're begging me to write a sequel to Lawless Justice, and I have no intention.
Hard life.
Oh, it really is. Well, it is. No, because listen, no, it is hard because I don't write. I'm being totally honest with you, ladies. Now I don't write anymore. Illusional Reality, which number 2, which is coming out this year, was written 10 years ago.
Why don't you write anymore?
I don't have the passion anymore. I don't have the mindset for it. I don't, it's not that I don't have the imagination. I can brainstorm. I brainstormed with another author and we went through the whole book of a start, middle and end, but she'll be the one writing it because I don't have the mindset. I don't have the, what's the word I'm looking for? Concentration now to write. But anyway, yeah, so that may be my last book this year, but I have that will be number 9, and I'm pretty happy with what I've done over the years. I'm happy, and I'm happy that people are happy reading them. Get the odd one or two that it's not their cup of tea, and like you say, that's fine. But overall, most of my books have a rating of 4.5 stars, so that's something to be happy about.
Oh, yeah, no, that is, yeah.
Yeah,
Anita,
that's it. I'm shutting up now.
No, you're all right. We'll come back to you if you want. Anita, tell me about your books.
Well, I think I got 18 now.
Bloody hell, woman.
I feel unaccomplished. I need to get off the mic and go right now. 18?
Yeah, well, I mean, to be fair, most of them are story collections or novellas, so that they're shorter than like novels.
That's cheating.
And poetry books. Yes, it is.
No, it is. I see all these authors with like 18, 20 books, and they're all short stories, but they've published them that's cheating. That's not allowed. You need to do a full-blown novel.
Well, I have done novellas, which are full. Well, they're not full. They're full, but they're shorter full. Anyway, but actually, and I'm currently writing 5 novels, so I'm getting there.
Oh, good for you.
I think it's 5. It could be 6.
Oh my gosh. Well, don't you get confused about which bit goes with which book?
No, which is weird because I can't remember half the time what I did last week, but I can remember the plots of 6 novels at the same time. So,
and you don't get the characters mixed up with the wrong plot?
No. I know, my mind is weird. I have a very weird mind. I'm fully aware of this.
It's not
I
like
can't remember birthdays, but I can remember details on my characters in 6 novels.
Oh, that's great. Are they all of the same series, or are they completely different?
No, okay. I've got one. Ghost of the Sea Moon is the first draft's done, and that's going into editing soon. And so that one might come out this year. Fingers crossed. Anyway,
we wait on these bloody editors.
Well, no, actually, it's more on me getting it polished for the editors in time. Anyway, and then I've got that one may be a series. I hadn't originally intended it to be a series, but there are more stories in there, and people seem to be responding to this one for some reason. The little tidbits I've been sharing.
Yeah. Isn't it funny when they do start responding to something, you're like, well, that's strange.
Yeah. Well, this one was originally, this started as like just a little flash piece I did for a writing prompt contest. And I thought, well, that's kind of a fun little piece. I mean, I thought I'd expand it into a little novella and get it published. And then the novella decided to become a novel.
Well, that's all right.
No. It wasn't all right. It was like, okay, you keep getting bigger. Why are you getting bigger? Okay, I give up. You're a novel now. And I'm still working on the ending because it's not right.
Mm-hmm.
I got this big epic fight where they're 2 gods are fighting on top of a flying bone dragon. But it's not really epic.
They're like, wait, what?
It's like there's this big dragon made of bones fueled by the magic of the goddess of the moon. And her brother are fighting on top of the dragon. And this is why I love fantasy.
This is why I love fantasy.
Yeah. I don't know what to do with the seagulls. Yes, they're seagulls. Anyway, they're ghosts. They're ghosts that turned into ghouls. Anyway, Anyway, I gotta figure out what to do with them.
That could be a quotable line, just randomly. I want it on a mug. I don't know what to do with the seagulls. I want that on a T-shirt. I don't know what to do with the seagulls.
Yeah, okay. Well, yes, these are the problems that fantasy writers have. Yes. For all you readers out there, this is what we go through. Anyway, so I gotta work on that because the epic battle is not very epic at the moment.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. No, that's.
But anyway, no, that book has got dead ghosts and live people and gods and all.
What's the title of this one?
What? Ghosts of the Sea Moon.
Ghost of the Sea Moon. I am so buying that when it comes out. Absolutely, that's awesome.
And hopefully we'll have figured out what to do with the seagulls by then.
That could be the title. I don't know what to do with the seagulls. That is so cool. I'm getting a T-shirt that says that.
I love that for the title. Oh my god. Big question mark.
See your sails soar.
Yeah, the tagline. She didn't know what to do with the seagulls.
You can market that. You could be like, I now know what I did with the seagulls. You find
read book 2 to find out.
Yeah, maybe they will make a reappearance in book 2. But anyway, yeah. But anyway. Yeah, there is going to be a series. Getting back to what I was saying with that one now. I'm going to do a prequel.
Good.
Oh, I hate prequels. Sorry. I absolutely detest prequels. Why? You should have done that at the beginning. Why to do the beginning, middle, and end, and then go back to the beginning?
I didn't know my sea captain had such an interesting background until I wrote the first book. So.
I didn't know my character was so cool.
Yeah, exactly. No, apparently he did all this stuff before, and then the first made Blackthorn. I mean, I got to give him a backstory in another book.
Yeah, I won't read prequels. I don't agree with them. I don't think they should have ever been invented.
There's only one that I actually enjoy, and that is C.S. Lewis's, and this is the only time you'll hear me mention him. I hate this author. But C.S. Lewis's Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, that is a prequel. And
to what?
To Narnia, to the Chronicles of Narnia. The Lion. Yeah.
You've lost me.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
It's the first book.
The Magician's Nephew is a prequel. It's The Magician's Nephew.
Okay, now I got you.
That is the prequel to the Chronicles of Narnia. And I loathe the Chronicles of Narnia. I detest him. I detest that author. I detest those books. But I loved The Magician's Nephew. Absolutely loved it. And that is probably the only prequel that I loved it so much. Love The Magician's Nephew. I'm still waiting for the rest of the series. There was so much in that book. I'm like, this is really cool. Like the rings. I'm like, let's go about the rings. Let's talk about those rings. No. Like you had a really good, I want to know what happened in that particular realm with the Ice Queen and everyone dead. I want to know. I want to see that fight. Like he had such fantastic material. And he squandered it on a crappy story. Okay, I really need to not get on my C.S. Lewis hype. I'm not allowed to talk about him because
can I get back to my stuff?
Yeah, get back to your stuff. Tell me about your seagulls.
Okay, well, the other book that I just started, it's this one I'm really like because it's based on two of my short stories, and it's called the series is going to be the Camelot Immortals. Mm-hmm. And the first book is called Past Legends, and it's basically it's about my character Nimue from the Arthurian legends.
Yeah.
And the whole premise of the two stories, I've done two short stories so far. One of them's in Legends and Lore called Grail Days, and it's about basically what happened was all the people of Camelot that did magic turned into immortals, because if you're a magician and you do magic, you become immortal. You sort of absorb the magic or something.
That's cool, yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the series is set in modern day, and Nimue, she runs a bed and breakfast in the Lake District in England, and Morgan Le Fay is a businesswoman.
That's awesome.
And and Lancelot's a drunk, basically. He's dating Morgan, but he's basically a drunk. And Arthur's buried under a hill somewhere. And Guinevere's off in some convent or retreat or something, being a hippie.
Oh, okay. I actually do.
Yeah, she's gone new age. Guinevere's gone all new age and hippie. Anyway, and so in Grail Days, basically, Nimue just wants to be left alone to run her bed and breakfast and drink her mead, right? But she keeps having to go back and solve all the problems from the Camelot people because they keep doing weird, stupid things.
Have they still got their magic?
Yes.
Oh, bloody hell.
No,
yeah.
Great.
Anyway, so basically in Grail Days, Elaine pops up, Galahad's mother, and she goes on this quest for the Grail, which is the source of all magic, and she wants to remake the world, blah, 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 villain stuff. But anyway, in the end, she gets turned into a rat. Oh, yeah. Nimue likes it. She turned Merlin into a tree in the first story, and he's in her garden.
I'm really enjoying just
and then in the first book, anyway, it seems that Nostradamus has come back to do something bad. Mm-hmm. So she used to date him.
Yeah,
of course.
This is great. I used to date him. Yep.
Yeah, and there's a line in the first book that Morgan asked her, do all your boyfriends come back to try and kill you? Yeah, and I'm going to do the third Killers and Demons story collection. That's going to get soon. I've got
just
several.
No prequels.
No, there's no prequels in this one. just new villains killing people.
More villains.
Yeah. Killers and Demons is pretty straightforward. Just bunch of stories, villains killing people, villains go home. People are dead. It's basically
That's great. No, I
basically
love Hamlet for that.
villains come, villains kill, villains go home.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, people seem to have read it, seem to like the book. So
I want to know, sorry, Anita, I want to know, Angela, I mean,
yeah.
You had your first book and then you released your other one, this year. When I first met you, you were releasing your second book. What's happening with you now? Are you working on anything? Are you got anything in the oven?
I have a few things in the oven. I have, Tales of the Drury is the series I'm working on. Dolor and Shadow was released 2015, and I was writing Broken March of 2015. And I actually created Psychon as a distraction to what I was writing in Broken. That's my memoir. And Psychon literally was birthed from Broken. It's quite interesting. And then and the memoir was released for Psychon in 2015 for that year. Fire and Lies was released in 2016. That's book 2 of the Tales of the Drury series. And that's pretty much where my major novels are now. I have the outline done for the entire Tales of the Drury series. I have to start working on book 3. I really need to get that off the ground. But that picks up where the second book left off, and it continues their journey. It takes a completely different angle, and I'm just waiting with what I wrote in Broken, I'm really struggling to get back into that kind of a
mindset
style.
Yeah,
it's really hard, so it just sits there. I did work on 2 anthologies, which is, I don't like doing a small short story that standalones here and another one here, so the 2 anthologies I did are actually part 1 and part 2 of the same story. So it's actually a trilogy now, but it's a short story trilogy, and I have to work on the 3rd one, which I'm still working on. So it's 2 U's in the first anthology, 4 U is in the second anthology, and then With You is going to be the 3rd anthology. And that one I keep going back whether or not it's going to be a full-length novel or if it's going to be just another short story. I'm not sure yet.
It's nice to know that you're actually writing. It's good that because I don't hear you've got your hands in so much. You're doing many other things. Yeah, but it's nice to know that you still writing.
I do, yes. And then my blog novels, I have 2 of them happening. One of them I started and it's there. It's just on hold, and that's the Eladrin Stones, which is actually a D&D fan fiction that I started writing based on a game that I was DMing. And then the other one is Zombies from Space and Vampires. And that one was just something stupid that I started doing just to make sure I kept writing during my sabbatical.
Yeah.
And it turned into a thing. And I mean, it was really interesting how Zombies from Space came to life, because it really was just something stupid, because the idea was just dumb. I was in a movie theater and I'm like, hey, zombies in space. That could be something. So I turned it into this really dumb thing. And the more I wrote it, the more just stupid it got.
The less, I was going to say the less dumb it got.
It really did. And I just finished up. It has like 15 little chapters in it. It's only 100 pages. But it really turned into something. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and get an actual cover for it. And the cover that came back was just epic. Just so cool. It really fit with it. And I'm like, well, I guess I got a thing here now. So I'm going to be working on the sequel, Zombies from Space, Fists in the Dark. Mm-hmm. That's the sequel. And then I can't remember the other sequel, the 3rd book I have. But now it's like I have it all planned out now. So they actually, basically there's, they're not zombies, they're weeches. There are aliens that land on planet Earth, and they look like zombies. So they invade, they take over the world, and they eat humans. Humans have a problem with that, of course. And the vampires, who are real and have been living in secret all these years, come out to defend their food source, us. And a war breaks out between the zombies and the vampires. And
awesome.
The story is actually about this group of, well, actually it's real life authors, my writers group, it's us. And we basically don our zombie slang and vampire slang outfits and we go to town. So in all this stupidness, a plot actually emerged. And yeah, it's a thing now. So I'm like, all right, I'll actually get this edited and cleaned up and stuff. So
it's nice to nice to step away and to do something out of your comfort zone.
Oh, this is really out there. No, this is different. And I'm really upset because like every day I do the whole, I haven't written Fire and Lies. It's like Shadow and Tears. I haven't written my fantasy book 3. I haven't done the romance trilogy that I've got. And that nags at me every single day and I just feel dreadful about it. But
you are writing. That's what you've got to think, that you are still writing. Yeah. Whereas me, I've just come to a complete dry well.
I was heading there. And that was actually really nice hearing you talk about that when you start talking about how you don't write because you're done. And I'm like, that's my fear. That is really, I am terrified of.
Unfortunately, it is a real thing. I've had people over the last few years, you'll get it back, you'll get the juices back, you'll get the passion back. And it's been 7 years now and I haven't, so it's not going to come back. I write articles, I do book reviews, I write when I'm forced to write, but to actually sit down and do a new novel. It's like now I shouldn't be. You know, when you've got a book and you should never leave it, you should leave it alone. Well, I've done the wrong thing. I've taken In Times of Violence, which was my first book, and I'm actually modernising it. And I know you shouldn't do that because a book never has a sell-by date. But so much has changed from the 1980s to now that I just feel to be in and to make it more of a connection to the other books, because In Times of Violence is a YA and all the others are 18.
Yeah.
How can you have a teenager reading In Times of Violence and not being able to read the others in the series? So I wanted to update it, but I also wanted to make it into a more of a 18. So that I can do. I can look at the book, I can write chapters, I can write scenes added to that. But to actually come up with a new idea, characters, and I just...
Yeah, see, and I'm fine there. I've got the ideas, and I'm still... I don't know what... You know how there's this thing that writers have where no matter what you do, when you do X, your brain starts to get to work and it brainstorms. My X is water. Anytime I take a shower, take a bath, or swim in the pool, my brain goes to work, which is just, that sucks because I don't exactly have a pen and paper with me while I'm swimming. So, and it was bad. Last summer, I actually had pen and paper and notebook on the swim pool ladder. So I'm swimming. I would swim for 2-3 hours a day, and then I'd get out and I'd scribble. And there'd be like chlorine dripping all over my papers and notes, but
yeah.
That's when it came to me. So the brainstorming, and I think a lot of writers get it when they're falling asleep at night.
I got the perfect first line to a story while I was driving after a snowstorm. I had to repeat
over and write that down.
No, I didn't have any paper or anything with. I had and this was a big snowstorm. There was nowhere to pull over.
Just don't die. Anyway, just don't die.
It's like over and over. I repeated the line as I drove home. Over and over, the line was repeated. Yeah. I'm still repeating the line as I'm walking through the door. And then where's the paper? Line goes down. Anyway, that story's now up on Wattpad, by the way.
No, very good.
It's called Snow. Now,
my favorite story, and then there's the dreams. When you dream something just so incredibly awesome and you wake up and you go, when you wake up and you're like, oh, I got it.
Exactly. Yeah. All of my books are from dreams. All of them.
I've never had that.
Oh, my favorite dream. So I was sleeping. I had this fantastic dream. I woke up and I went, that's phenomenal. I have to write that down. So I wrote it down and then I woke up. And I went, oh, that's such a phenomenal dream. I have to write that down. So I wrote it down and then I woke up. And then I went, oh, that's such a phenomenal dream. I have to write it down. And I wrote it down and then I woke up. And then I went, oh! I went through 5 layers of dreams.
Oh, that's scary.
I dreamed that I dreamed that I dreamed that I dreamed this plot. And all of my dream selves remembered it. I didn't. I didn't. It was literally, it was really, really interesting. I can't remember the
That's
movie.
bizarre.
It was really bizarre. It was. There's a movie where there's like dream worlds and dream worlds. I cannot remember the name of the movie. I want to say it's Jumper or something like that. But that was it. I was like, that's exactly what it was that day, where I was dreaming about this particular thing. Whatever that was awesome. That's my New York Times bestselling. That's what that is. I can't remember.
So you've just given the reason why readers know that we're just absolute loonies. Writers are loonies. We are.
Yes, we are.
Oh, we are. It's our mind with the dreams, with the imagination that makes these stories and these characters up. Readers can't do that. They're not writers. If you're a writer, if you're an author, you're an author. I don't believe that you can suddenly be an author. I think you have it in you, and if you don't, you don't.
Yeah. There was I remember when I was, I don't remember. It was years ago. I remember listening to this radio show, and it was just a talk. It was like a talk show or something, but they were talking about dreams and what are things that like envisions, not dreams, like goals in your life, those kind of dreams. And he woke up and said, I want to be a writer. I want to be a writer. And the individual said to this child, if you wake up every day thinking that you want to be a writer, then you are a writer. And it was really a beautiful way of really putting that. It's because I still sit here every day that I don't write, and I just go, I really should write today. I really should write something today. Every day that I go to sleep and I haven't written something, it just eats away.
Yeah, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't be punishing yourself about that, because you are writing.
Yeah, that's what got me writing again. No, that did get me writing again. I did go a period where I didn't write for a good solid 6 months. Nothing, not articles, nothing, because I was on sabbatical. And one of the things I'm looking forward to when SciCon ends is putting Brain to Books to bed and just writing. Like I'm going away. And it's funny because I have several people coming to me saying, oh, well, we need to talk about this when you're done. No, my writing is no, sorry. Brain to Books.
I love and I admire all of your authors that never stop writing. That's just one book idea after another. I remember what that felt like. I was there once, and I just love, I'm envious, yes, maybe a little jealous, yes, but I remember what that feeling was like, and I really admire you all for keep going and keep getting those books out.
Yeah. Did you ever get tired? And I ask because my Tales of the Druid, You'll Learn Shadow and Fire Lies, it was 250,000 words that I did in one go. It took me 7 years. And I think at the core of it, that's really why I'm not writing the third book, is because it was 250,000 words over 7 years. I'm tired. I don't want to write that story again.
Because you wrote The Zombies in Outer Space, which is totally the opposite side. I think that's probably spurs you on now, ready to begin writing again, surely.
Yeah, and I still, every time I think back to Winter and Dash, I just look at it going, I'm still that tired. I'm also terrified that if I were to start it again, it will be another 7 to 10 years. And I'm just like, I don't want it to be 7 to 10 years again. So I
don't allow it to.
Part of me is procrastinating. So, and I think that's what it is as well. So I'm piddling with short stories now in anthologies. You yelled at Anita about doing her short stories, and I'm like, oh, there's an appeal.
Our short stories in a book, a novella, fine. But to actually publish a short story with a cover and call that a book, I call that cheating.
Well, now, to be fair, my short stories are actually connected plot-wise, because like with Ruin City, I wrote 12 short stories, but they're all a book. It's like they're
one book.
Okay.
yeah,
so,
it's like it's like the Canterbury Tale. Like I described it once as the Canterbury Tales meets Game of Thrones.
Okay.
Ooh.
So it's like you've got 12 short stories, but they're all stories about the same about different characters in the same situation. Because basically, the plot of the book is a city gets cursed. So you've got 12 stories of different characters and what happens to them after the curse happens.
I love that. No, I love that.
And like with Fairy Tale Fusion, it's all short stories too, but it's short stories done up as cases in this detective. Like Detective Piper is a detective with the Fairyland Metro Police. And all the short stories are his cases.
That is really clever.
Yeah, and in between the short stories, you get the Fairyland news. These little tiny news bites of what's happening in Fairyland.
Got some brains. You got some.
Oh my god!
And then
where do you get these ideas from?
There's a little second section in that book where I got some weird, funny, odd little tales that are horror and fantasy and stuff. So it's like it's sort of that one's kind of weird because it's fantasy meets noir detective novel.
Yeah.
But it's all funny, like it's all humorous.
Yeah.
Except for the second section, which is it was just darker and horror stuff.
Yeah. No, I love my romances, and they're not really. This is one of the genres that I'm really struggling with because I say romance, but they're not romance, but they are. There's no sexual content. It is a genuine. They're in love, but they're not. It's like they are as much a romance as Romeo and Juliet is, and I wouldn't really call that a romance either.
No, it's a tragedy.
Yeah, it's then that's exactly it. But there isn't a genre for romance tragedy, and that's really what this is. But it's a short story, and I want this. I love the way it turned out. It's written in second person point of view, where you don't remember anything that takes place. Your memory is gone. So I recount what happened and how we met and fell in love and how it led to you losing your memory. So the whole thing is told in second person point of view, and it can be read so that very, very credibly, so that the reader is the you. The reader is, it's almost as if the author has written a love letter to the reader, and the reader is reading about this situation that somebody loves them, but because their memory's been taken, they won't have any recollection of it. And
I love that.
There is no name exchange. And I'm trying to remember if there is. I wanted to write it so that there was no gender exchange, but I think I did put a gender in there, he, she. But it is set up so that there is no name exchange. So neither character is actually ever given a name. And then...
You know what?
Go ahead.
What I would love to do if I ever got the passion again to write, I love these role plays. I'd love to have a scene and then, okay, if you want to go to the left door, go to page so-and-so. Do you remember them?
Oh my
God, I used to love those. I used to love reading them. I would love to write one. I
just participated in one of those on Twitter.
I really hate how limited they were. I always wanted there to be more options, and I always died. I always died to the point where I'm like, all right, I swear, I'm just, you decide something, you get one option, and you're dead. And I'm just like, no, I want the story. I want this to be like a 500,000 page novel where I just designed the whole story, and that's really, really what I want.
I need to collaborate with someone because, like I said, I don't write, but I've got the bloody ideas. I really have, and I really want to do. I mean, I used to love reading those books, and I want to publish one like that so everyone else can enjoy it and get the enjoyment that we got out of them, because you don't see them anymore.
No, you don't. I don't even remember where we did have them. I just ran across them in my school library when I was a teenager.
Yeah, I used to buy the. It was a kids book. The three boy detectives, and it was choose your own adventure. and you go to page 37 if you wanted A, or page
Yeah.
28. Anyway, but they were so much fun because I mean the mystery kept getting different.
Yeah. See, what we need to do is like a little short story so that the story goes one way, and then you can choose, do you want this, this, and this? And it's a book. It's not a full page.
Mm.
And then you pick up that book, because that way the book can be written by anybody.